What's going on YouTube? Bandit here, back again with another Diablo 3 video. I've been working on my Witch Doctor, playing with my Witch Doctor a lot lately, and I've gotten some pretty decent gear, so I figured I would bring you the pet build that I've been using and having a good time with. I've been easily clearing T6s solo, so this will be a good build for you just to run through T6s, you know, farming for gear and things like that. So go ahead and talk about the skills we're using, the gear that's going to make those skills a little better. Talk a little bit about the Paragon. If you stick around till the end, I'll go ahead and show you some footage of this gameplay in action. So let's get right into it. We'll run through our skills real quick, and then we'll come back through and talk about them a little bit more. Plague of Toads with Rain of Toads, Piranhas with Piranado, Spirit Walk with Jaunt, Summon Zombie Dogs with Leeching Beasts, Fetish Army with Tiki Tortures, Big Bad Voodoo with Slam Dance, and for our passives we've got Grave Injustice, Pierce the Veil, Midnight Feast, and Fetish Sycophants. So starting up here at the top with our Rain of Toads, it's going to be giving us toads that are raining from the sky, dealing 182% weapon damage as poison to enemies in the area over 2 seconds. And move on over here to our Piranado. This is going to summon a tornado of piranhas that pulls monsters in and suspends them in the air while dealing 200% weapon damage as poison over 4 seconds. And affected enemies will also take 15% increased damage. It's also important to note too that your Plague of Toads here with the Rain of Toads is the fastest ticking skill in the game. So you're definitely going to be getting some benefits out of using this skill that we will go over a little bit when we talk about our gear. Spirit Walk with Jaunt. You can probably use any of these here. I just like to use Jaunt because it increases the duration to 3 seconds. So you can kind of anticipate when things are coming and get out of danger that way, and you've got that increased time. Especially if you come across an enemy that's doing reflect damage or things like that. Definitely something that I like to have around, but if you want to use it too defensively to heal some life and things like that, by all means you can do that. Summon Zombie Dogs here with Leeching Beast. Your Zombie Dogs are going to heal for 100% of your life on hits with every attack, so definitely good to have them around because they're going to be filling up your life for you while they're doing their business. Our Fetish Army, this build is going to revolve heavily around the Fetish Army. And with the Tiki Tortures here, you'll see that you're going to be getting an additional 2 fetishes who are going to breathe fire in a cone, dealing 85% weapon damage as fire, and they're going to be hitting multiple enemies as well. The other fetishes, when you call in the fetishes, they're just going to kind of be doing damage to a singular target, and these are going to be able to hit multiple enemies. So definitely good to have those 2 extra around, and then you'll have 5 regular fetishes there with that skill. And then Big Bad Voodoo here. This is our big damage dealer here. You can see here, it's going to conjure a fetish. It begins a ritual dance that increases the attack speed and movement speed of all nearby allies by 20% for 20 seconds. And then our Slam Dance rune, the fetish increases the damage of all nearby allies by 30%. Now, we'll go ahead and talk about why this is a big deal. We'll go ahead over here to our gear here. The weapon that we're using, the Star Metal, reduce the cooldown of Fetish Army and Big Bad Voodoo by 1 second each time your fetishes deal damage. If we go back here and we take a look at our Fetish Army, you're going to be getting 7 altogether, and they've got quite a bit of a cooldown on them. So having the SMK able to reduce the cooldown of this skill while your fetishes are attacking, it really brings it back up a lot quicker. So definitely important for that. But the even more important thing I would say is this Big Bad Voodoo here, because basically this 30% damage increase, these fetishes are going to be hitting all the time. And we're going to talk about a skill here that's going to get you even more fetishes. And this Big Bad Voodoo is going to come around every few seconds if you've got maximum fetish capacity running, okay? And it's really going to benefit everybody. And I've been in rifts where I'm just throwing them down here and there, and Big Bad Voodoo's for everybody. So definitely, Star Metal is very hard to find though, so if you do have one, definitely this is the way it's meant to be used, so you'll want to use that for that there. And then the Fetish Sycophants here, When you hit enemies with your spells, you have a 10% chance to summon another fetish to fight by your side for 60 seconds. And once you get all of these going, you've got 15 and 7. 15 is the max you can get for the fetish sycophants here. And then with the other 7 that you're getting from your fetish army, you're going to have 22 fetishes all fighting for you. And we'll go ahead then and we'll talk about the gear that we're going to be looking for that's going to really maximize the effectiveness of the fetish army. And that's the Zunimasa set here. You can see that your fetish army is going to last until they die. If we go over here and look at the fetish army skill, they usually only last for 20 seconds. So the 120 second cooldown, so that's a 2-minute cooldown you've got there. So between your SMK and all of your fetishes doing damage and having them all last until they die with the Zunimasa set, your fetishes are going to be around for a while, and you're not going to really have to worry about waiting a whole 2 minutes to get them cast again. And they have, too, I will mention, a ton of health, and they'll last a really long time for you. So definitely great skills to have for this build here. Go ahead and talk about the other passives real quick. Grave Injustice, gain 1% of your maximum life and mana, and reduce the cooldown of all of your skills by 1 second when an enemy dies within 20 yards. So that's a pretty big deal too. You know, that's going to come into play as well for your Big Bad Voodoo. It's going to come into play for your Pyronado. It's going to come into play for your Fetish Army and your zombie dogs as well, as long as stuff is dying in your general vicinity. Pierce the Veil, all of your damage is increased by 20%, but your mana costs are increased by 30. So increase the damage there. This one, Midnight Feast, 1 additional zombie dog. I'm only using 1 zombie dog right now because of a piece of gear that I'm rocking. We'll go over that in a minute as well. But it's also going to increase the damage of your zombie dog and gargantuan by 50%. So more damage increase there, and we've already gone over Fetish Sycophants. Go ahead and go over our gear. As I've mentioned, I'm using the Zunimasas. The Tall Man's Finger we're using here with a Gogok. Especially, I guess we'll talk about the ring. It's gonna, instead of summoning 4 zombie dogs for you, it's gonna summon a single gargantuan dog with more damage and health than all of the other dogs combined. So that's pretty cool. You can see him right here. He's just hanging about with his little fetish friends. And in that ring, we've got the Gogok. And using that in conjunction here with your Plague of Toads, the fastest ticking skill in the game, it's going to proc your Fetish Sycophants quite a bit. I've gotten all 15 of mine up in just a couple of seconds. So definitely, I want to run a Gogok in there. I've got the Ring of Royal Grandeur here, allowing me to have the 4-piece set bonus of the Zunimasas with only 3 pieces. And I've got the Enforcer gem in there, increasing the damage of my pets. This one is rank 32, so it's giving me 24.6% damage increase. And then my pets are taking 25% less damage as a secondary. Tasker and Theos, definitely important to have for this build. Increase the attack speeds of your pets by 47%. So my zombie dog, my fetishes, they're all going to be attacking a little bit faster, doing more damage. I'm just using these here, Augilds, the shoulders, and the bracers. We're getting a reduced damage from range attacks and reduced damage from melee attacks, and we're also going to be doing getting reduced damage from elites by 15%, increasing damage against elites by 15%. So definitely important to have. Definitely beneficial to have because you do come into contact with quite a bit of elites, and they're going to be taking a lot of damage from your pets, and even more with these bracers and these shoulders here. And in conjunction with our Pyronado, which is a really good crowd control skill, we've also got our Halcyon's Ascent. I'm not really sure how to say that, so pardon me. It's going to, when you use Big Bad Voodoo, you mesmerize nearby enemies with your skill, causing them to jump uncontrollably for 8 seconds, and it looks really awesome too, and I'm all about like the way the skills look, so this is a cool amulet to have. I wish I had a ring in it because I would, or a socket in it, because I would definitely put another gem in there and have 3D gems going. But that's what we got for now. Definitely going to be on the lookout for a better one of those. And then for our belt here, I've got a Harrington too. The damage is a little bit less on it than I had liked. So I'm just rocking the Hellcat here. Increase the attack speed, increase the damage against elites. But I am going to throw the Harrington on. It's definitely something you can use as well because it'll give you that pretty hefty damage increase just from clicking on crap in the world. So you got those there. And then these pans, I mean, there's several options you can go with for pans, but I found these. When 3 or more enemies are within 12 yards, you release a vile stench that deals 316% weapon damage as poison every second for 10 seconds to enemies within 15 yards. That is a mouthful, but that's pretty cool. Just added to the overall effect because I've definitely got a lot of enemies on me at any given time. So it's definitely nice to have that extra damage output from those as well. And then up here you can see, definitely an important thing to have if you're running a pet build, the Mask of Jerem. Pets deal 92% more damage, so pretty decent roll on that. And I've got a cooldown reduction gem in there. And we'll just see here, I've got increased Plague of Toads damage, increased Fetish Army damage, increased Fetish Army damage in the Zunamasas, and Fetish Army damage on the shoulders as well. So definitely want to be focusing, giving gear attributes and things like that to your pets because they're going to be doing a ton of damage as is, and why not even more with your gear. So that's the gear we're running there. Go ahead and talk about the Paragon I'm using. I've got my movement speed adjusted accordingly, maxed out my mana, and then I've kind of been splitting them between intelligence and vitality as needed. Here goes our offense. I've maxed out crit hit chance, maxed out crit hit damage, and I've started going into cooldown reduction here, but attack speed, definitely by all means, if you're not happy with your attack speed, go ahead and get that as high as you can because you want to get those 15 fetishes active as fast as you can. In our defense here, I've got resist all, stay alive, armor, stay alive, and then I've started messing with overall life here. I'm going to worry about life regeneration last. Accidentally put a point into that just because it was a mistake and I didn't really feel like resetting and assigning them all again. So it's just staying there for the time being. Finally, in our utility, we've got life on hit. Resource cost reduction, both those maxed out, and I've started putting the rest into area damage. Now, that's the build there. Pretty simple and straightforward. Maximizing the damage of your pets and getting that big bad voodoo down with that SMK and keeping it active because you'll basically can have an extra 30% increased damage the whole rift as long as your pets are attacking and you've got those 15 fetishes up from the fetish sycophant. So now that we've gone over the build, I'll go ahead and show you some footage of this build in action, see what kind of damage it's doing, see how fast it can take elites out and bosses, things like that. So let's go ahead and have a look. Now we're going to have a big group here. This will be nice. You can see our big bad voodoo. It's just filling up like crazy. And stuff's dying pretty fast too, so when you're fighting elites and they're just hitting elites over and over again, you'll be able to plop them down all over the place. Hello, Asmodan. I've brought you a gift. Look at him going. He's just going. I wish I was able to get all 22 of my fetishes up, and I mean, that's words can't express how beautiful that was. I just figured too, if you weren't convinced, I'd go ahead and show you here. The amulet at 2, figured I'd give you a better look at that. You can see how they're just all bouncing around. We're going to go ahead and pay the butcher a visit as well. We've got our 15 sycophants up, throwing down our big bad voodoos all over the place. Everybody having a party. Throw another one down here, we might as well. You can see the trash mobs are just easily destroyed. I love that big old Pyranado. I can't speak, I promise. Everybody just jumping around. I'm getting that cooldown reduction as well. For everything dying, within 20 yards of us, I believe it was. So, I mean, if you just watch my skills, you can just see them refilling rather quickly. Especially when my fetishes are attacking things. I mean, just look at this here. They love that dubstep. So here we are at Butch. He's gonna hate our build. Didn't mean to get that close to you. Do your thing, babies. Ooh. Too bad, so sad, Butch. And you are done. Nothing to it. More amulets. Go ahead and ID those real quick. Well, guys, that's the build. That's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, please feel free to hit that like button down below. And also, if you have any other suggestions for gear or any builds that you've been having fun with, please feel free to let me know down in the description below. I always look forward to hearing your guys' suggestions. Also, keep in mind that I am streaming now on Twitch. I'll leave the link for my Twitch in the description below. You can go ahead and follow me over there. And as always, if you enjoy my channel, you enjoy my content, please feel free to subscribe to keep updated on all future uploads. Till next time, guys, y'all stay beastin'. Peace.